Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. We're live this evening with L2S F2 Esports League, and it's round 13 of 15 currently for the current season that are on here right now, and it's the Mexican Grand Prix. We're on with a feature race here right now. So let's get to the one-shot qualifying first, and then let's see how many drivers we have going through with that. Should be quite close enough to a full grid at least. We'll see how that works out in terms of starting positions. We made just a one-shot qualifying, one lap to get this done, and they have to make sure they get it perfect to get the best possible start in the feature race here. And then it's going to be a bit different going to the sprint race just after that, which is going to be a 50% as well. So we're just waiting for everyone to load their setups here right now, and we're ongoing here right now. We're following on with CRG Gamer here right now, new in the league for me, at least one new name for me, and looks very cloudy on track, so track temperature might be a bit lower on that end. So let's see how it's going to go on his lap here right now. We're going to keep on with him as the game day come on with him, and he is a new name on the league here from me at least. So I'm going to see where he goes as he gets to the end of this here, and let's keep on for the tires. So we see most of our drivers using the super soft tires here right now, and he's invalidated his lap unfortunately. So let's go on with Landobat out in front here and see where he's at right now. We got him currently doing possible fastest for a sector getting through there as he's holding on to P1 with that. Laurentier and Beer switching it up now. So Beer now trying to switch it up with Landobat as well. So Beer now into P1. Lando now down to second, Laurentio down to third, and it's a bit of switch with Royal Harvey, Bultex King, and Slayer there as well. Beer still holds on to P1, Laurentio now up into P2 as we can see there right now. So quite an interesting change up going as we get around the track here. So let's get on up with Beer here and see where he's up to at the moment getting around. Still holds on to currently in P1 and possibly a potential P1 start for the race. So let's see how that's going to work, if he's going to be able to hold this off all the way through to the end of the lap here. I'm not sure if it's going to be a wet race or a dry race, guys. Honestly, we'll see about that in just about a few seconds time when we do get onto that part of the session. So about to finish off this lap here right now as we get around the final turn back onto the pit straight. Laurentier still holds on to second, Royal Harvey still there in third, Lando still fourth, Ace versus King still fifth. Oh, and switch it up with John there now, goes up in the fourth, Lando up in the third, Royal Harvey second, Beer into fourth, and they go across the line that way there. So quite an interesting finish for that one-shot qualifying. A lot of lap times in there as well, quite competitive in the grid as we can see. There's a few disqualified laps, but we're going to have a look at the full results here right now. So we're just about to get started with this race, so let's have a look at our result before we do get on with the race session. And let's see if it's going to be a wet race or a dry race here for the Mexican Grand Prix with L2S F2 Esports. So far so good in the qualifying. So let's have a look at our starting grid as it is. So it looks like Beer starting P1 on the grid. Royal Harvey is going to start second alongside him. Lando is going to start third. We got John Banter starting fourth. Ace starting fifth. Then we got Infamous will start sixth. Slayer starts seventh. Kuna will start eighth. King Schemo has to start ninth. We got Golden Pickle starting 10th. Laurentier starts 11th. Column 12. Bultex King 13. Angry Orange 14. We got Spoondog starting 15. CRG Gamer starts 16. J Sarge there down in 17. And that's our 17 drivers that are going to be starting up here in the feature race for the Mexican Grand Prix. So we're going to get straight onto that in the next 8 seconds, and let's see how that race start is going to go. Should be quite an interesting one. Always is with the L2S F2 league here. Always got an interesting race, especially the first few laps when you get into the race. So we're getting into that right now, and let's see how fast we can have this loaded up and get a go on with this race session. Alright guys, here we go with the start of the Mexican Grand Prix feature race, L2S F2 Esports League round 13, and we're off here right now. Let's see between Beer and Royal Harvey who gets a better start going on through. And we got the car going all the way down to the side of the pit entrance there, and that was Royal Harvey there having a pretty bad start on it. So let's see how the rest of the grid gets on through. Lando having a pretty good run on Jan going into turn 1 here. Oh, and we got some cars definitely having some contact as we get on through. Seems to be going pretty well so far. A few cars going wide as everyone gets through. We might have definitely some damage maybe on a few cars down in the back of the grid there as well, as we can see quite a few position changes happening as they all get on through the opening lap so far in Sector 1, still on running as we're getting to Sector 2 right now. So let's see what's happening in the front of the grid. We have quite a close gap. We got Infamous and I think Lando going side by side trying to fight it off for P4 in the race. Royal Harvey just in front of that. Beer getting away pretty well out in front. John Banter down in second, 1.1 second behind, and I think Harvey is trying to catch up with them as well. Infamous up to P4 right now ahead of Lando, and they're still going a bit side by side trying to fight it off through for that position as it is there right now. And we can see a position changes as they happen from the start of the race up to this point. Still, these two are still fighting it down with Slayer and Spoondoggy just behind them. CRG Gamer up to 8 in the race already ahead of Angry Orange here, just went ahead of that. So far so good in the opening lap. We got Royal Harvey still about 9/10 behind John Battery. He's losing a bit of time right now. John is losing time to Beer as he's getting out in front. 1.6 seconds is the lead as he gets that going. Lando about 2/10 behind Infamous. A pretty close gap, and he's really trying to get that through. A train of cars coming behind of that as everyone bunches up just a bit at the end of the first lap here right now. We're about to go across the line, end up straight into lap 2. We're going here right now. Beer gets the fastest lap so far as we get on through with that, as he is leading by 1.5 seconds, so no surprise on that there. Spoondoggy keep trying to keep up with Slayer there for P6 right now. So far doing pretty well. Out from we got some gaps starting to form. Lando still pretty close up between him and Infamous here right now. He's trying to go around the outside, and let's see if he's able to get that done around turn 1. He's still pushing on through and takes the inside in turn 2, and does look like he might get that position up. So Lando is up to and he's gone back down. So Infamous has actually gotten the position back from him. Slayer's right behind the rear of them trying to get that position up there as well. He's trying to fight it off through. Infamous still holds on to the position, but 4 cars going wide, fighting it off for P4 as we have it there right now. And Lando still gets it back from Infamous, still going 3 cars wide as Lando gets around. And we got someone spinning. That's Lando spinning around. He's had a better contact with the cars there. Too many cars trying to go wide, I assume. Probably with that, just too close to each other and causing that to happen. Infamous still runs in P4. Harvey still up in P3 and about 6/10 behind John Banter. Spoondoggy down by 8/10, and Slayer there running just about another 4/10 behind Spoondoggy so far. CRG Gamer up to 7th place and chasing after Slayer in the race and doing pretty well at it, as he's right up to the rear of that car and he's looking to get by right now. Just needs a good gap, and he has enough space to work with, and he's going to get up that position. Looks like he might have tried it right now, and looks like he's going around the outside to try and get it up, and gets up the position on Slayer. Up into 6 CRG goes, and not too bad so far for the start for this race for him. He started way down the back, and Beer seems to be afraid of him for some reason. We're just a bit worried about him being in the race. He's doing fastest lap out in front there. Beer by 2.4 seconds. He's currently leading this race against John Banter for 2nd place, and that's Royal Harvey down 9/10 so far in third. Let's get tires off on track so you guys can have a look at what's happening with that. Most of our cars starting the race on the soft tires. Some of the guys are on the super softs as we're going here right now. John Banter on the super soft as he's going. Slayer on the super soft, and Laurentier as well. There's about 3 drivers on that. Majority of our drivers are running on the softs as well. Those super soft tires will wear out pretty quickly. It's a 20 lap race. We're on lap 3 and going through right now. Up to Harvey here with 8/10 behind John Banter, still running. Pretty good gap between him and going through. Still trying to get that position up if he can right now. So let's see what that's going to continue on with them. Down in the midfield here, we see that CRG Gamer is now catching up to Spoondoggy. 3/10, 2/10 behind them, and he's breaking that gap down as we go on through, and he's definitely going to be looking for a gap to get by here right now. Let's see how that's going to work for him. And he's definitely going to get by at some point very soon. Spoondoggy gets a penalty coming under pressure from CRG right now as well. So he needs to be a bit careful as well and see what he's going to do here, because he's about to lose that position. So let's see how much he's actually going to fight it off through and try to keep CRG behind him. As it is right now, he's having a bit of a difficult time trying to do that, because he does already have 1 penalty. He does need to be very careful in terms of getting another penalty. Angry Orange with a 3-second penalty there as well. We're going to have a look at the penalties affect race positions as we get to the end of the race. But so far so good as we're going through. JSR chasing after Angry Orange down in the back as well. We're going to have a look at that battle as going on through. 3/10 between the 2 of them. So they're getting pretty close off and fighting it for that position as they're going through there. I think the 2 of them are teammates, Angry Orange and JSR, but still a pretty close gap between them. We'll see how that goes. CRG goes alongside Spoondoggy right now, goes on the inside, gets a pass, and he's up to P5 in the race. Spoondoggy down to 6. Infamous still running there in P4. 3/10 behind John Banter and Royal Harvey right now between the 2 of them as they run out front. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Angry Orange and JSR switching positions here. Let's have a look. No, they are not teammates. My mistake on that. I just assumed by the colors showing on track. And we got Laurentier going alongside JSR right now. I'm trying to have a look at that if we can. As they fight it out through for P9 in the race. Laurentier takes it around the outside. Does have Angry Orange just in front of them. Let's see who gets out in front. JSR currently holds on to P10. He's down that position. So Laurentier gets by. Angry Orange still running just in front by 6 10 3 tenths now the gap is, as it's still very close and they go on through. Laurentier is going to chase after Angry Orange and try to get into P8 if he can. Out in front, Royal Harvey 5 tenths behind John Banter still for the second place in the race. Out in front, Beer leads by 4.2 seconds, so he still has quite a gap out in front. Laurentier trying to get by, or Angry Orange right now. It looks like get that position up. Angry Orange I think goes a bit wide there, or J Sarge went wide. Somebody just went wide. I think it was Angry Orange actually that went wide. He's trying to fight the back through for Laurentier, trying to get back P8, and he takes it a bit on the inside, goes wide again, loses the position, comes back alongside on track, alongside J Sart, and still trying to fight it through. And they got Angry Orange coming behind of them right now. So Laurentier leads their P8, J Sarge in 9th, Angry Orange in 10th. Ace versus King is about the 4 tenths behind this battle and coming on through. So he's just probably just watching on, trying to get in on this as well as much as he can. 5 tenths still between John Banter and Royal Harvey out in front for second place in the race. Those two are not changing that gap. Slayer there about 7 tenths behind Spoonhog, trying to catch up as much as he can. J Sarge and Laurentier going side by side, fighting it out for this position once again. J Sarge is up that position, up into 8th. Laurentier back down to 9th. Angry Orange in 10th, watching on, with Ace versus King just bearing 11th, watching on there as well, as we're in lap 5 right now. And I think someone just went wide. That probably was Angry Orange going wide there. Yes, it was. And he has Ace versus King catching up, so he needs to be a bit careful about how wide he does go on track and avoid getting penalties here as well. Want to see how that works out for him as he gets on through the race. So far so good. Out, oh, and he is into the barriers. Laurentier is into the barriers down the side of the track, lost that part of that front wing. He's gonna have to try and get back to the pits and take a pit stop to get that change off there right now. That's gonna be quite a bit of damage for him. I'm not sure how bad the damage is, but definitely took some damage. As this seems some carbon fiber come off that car, so he might have lost a bit of that front wing. Gonna have to try and get that replaced as quickly as he can. Let's get on down to Slayer here, running here in P7 as it is here right now. 3 tenths behind Spoonnoggy here, trying to catch up as much as he can to him. Down at the back, we got Ace versus King and Angry Orange trying to fight it out for a position for P9. Let's see how that's going to work out for them. Out in front, 5.4 seconds. The gap between Beer and John Banter leading the race still. 5 tenths between John and Royal Harvey. Still a very constant gap between the two of them, and hasn't changed much, only by a tenth so far since the start of the race, as we have it between the two of them fighting it out for second place, and a pretty good position. But John Banter does have a penalty to deal with, so he's going to have to deal with that at some point in the race there. Still following on right now. We're going on with the Lando there in P12. He's going side by side with Boltex King, trying to get up into P11, and does get a position up right now. And let's see if he's able to hold it. Deacon coming in 13, trying to get past Boltex King there as well. I don't think he might be able to get that position up, but let's keep an eye on them and see how that goes on through. Down in the back, Laurentier, and we got Callum here fighting it up for a position as well, as Laurentier did take damage on his car. I think he might have to do a pit stop. Let's have a look when he does get around. I'm not sure if he's going to do a pit stop or not. He's done 5 laps on those super soft. The car doesn't seem to have any damage, but he did go pretty hard into the barriers. I assume he probably took some damage in the car, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, he's going side by side right now with Callum, trying to get a position up, and he's getting up into P14 as it is right now. Even with that car as it is there, they're having a bit of contact and a bit of tussle getting through, and he takes the inside, gets around P14 on Callum there. So Callum is down to 15th on the grid. Ace versus King, fighting it off with Boltex King along with Decona here, so trying to keep an eye on them as let's see what's happening here right now. So Boltex King trying to get by Ace versus King right now, as well as Decona trying to get by both of them. Has the DRS advantage and is going to push down the pit to it. Of course, there's going to be no overtake available because since it is F2 cars, and we got Decona going side by side right now with Boltex King trying to fight it off for that position. Ace versus King coming back behind of them, and let's see what's going on through with them. Trying to get an overhead camera view here right now, which we're not able to get at this point. And there we should have that coming as they come on back to the pit straight there right now. We got someone into the pits. I think that's Ace versus King going into the pits there right now. Let's get on back out in front right now. Have a look at Royal Harvey. 2 tenths between him and John Banter for second place in this race. Of course, we know that John Banter does have that penalty. Still running on the super soft tires here as well. So let's see how that's going to go for him. Pit stops here will probably just be a one stop for this race as it is, with 20 laps in the race. Sprint race will be much less laps, so they can just run that straight on through. We'll see how that's going to go when you get to that point. So right, still following on Royal Harvey, 3 tenths, going down to 2 tenths between the two of them, and still going to fight it off for that position. Penalty or no penalty, they're still going to go for it at this point. King's Scheme will get a 3-second penalty there as well. We got Laurentier and Ace versus King into the pits, as we can see there right now. So Laurentier did take damage from that as he took a pit stop and got on to a fresh set of soft tires. Probably took a new front wing there as well. Didn't have a look at that. Let's keep an eye on CRG Gamer right now, all the way up into P4. He's coming after Beer here right now. So let's see, he's working his way up the field. He's getting quite a few positions. He's got a penalty, but still, that doesn't matter, as we said. No penalty or no penalty. These guys are going to fight it on through. And he's running right up to the rear of Royal Harvey's car. He's going to try to get ahead. And let's see, someone's into the pits there right now. And he's going to get ahead into P3. Run behind Harvey. Infamous is running forward. John Banter into the pits. And this is a pretty close gap. He's using the slipstream as much as he can. Goes side by side with Royal Harvey. He's going to take away P2 and goes up to second there right now. That's Royal Harvey down to third in this race with Infamous just about 2 tenths behind of him. They're still fighting it off through a bit of contact between the two cars as they get on through. We're on board right now with Royal Harvey. See how close Infamous is, coming right up behind him. He's looking to get up another position. Spoondoggy 5.5 seconds behind. Has a way to catch up as yet. Bilter saying about just looking to get by. Decona here right now, going side by side with Decona and goes around the outside, long way wrong, and he's actually going to get the position up. Gets away with it as well. Quite a clean overtake and gets up into P8 as it is there right now. So not a bad overtake at all. Going back up to Infamous here, chasing after Royal Harvey. CRG Gamer up into P2, 7.7 seconds behind Beer right now. Let's see how much he's able to catch up to Beer, if he's able to. They're running on the same strategy at the moment, both on the soft tires, are running from the start of this race. Beer apparently is feeling some sort of pressure, just made a mistake out front, has a 3-second penalty already in the race, and currently CRG Gamer only had, well, he has 6 seconds of penalties as well. So it's going to be quite interesting between the two of them. But penalty, no penalty, I want to see how this race plays out between Beer and CRG Gamer here. This is going to be quite interesting going down to the end of the race. 7.5 seconds between the two of them. He's already gained about 2 or 3 tenths off of Beer, about 4 tenths now. So this is getting quite interesting. Lap 9 of 20 in this race. Let's see what this is going to happen. What's going to happen after pit stops here as well. Going back down to Decona here, chasing after Bultexing, going side by side with him through that turn as someone goes wide. I think that was Bultexing going wide there, and he comes back around, gets the position back up in the P8. Decona running just behind him there, and he's losing the rear of the car just a little bit, having some trouble. Decona might try to take advantage of this as much as he can, try to keep on the rear of Bultexing as they're about to go down the pit straight. He's going to use the slipstream as much as he can, and hopefully he has the, yes, he is going to have the DRS advantage and take use of that. Bultexing pulling to the right of the track, trying to keep him out of the DRS range, but he's still going to use it, and he gets it wrong on the inside, quite deep into the track. And he gets up that position into P8. He kind of gets that position quite easily, and that's Bultexing down to 9th. Cannot hold off on the DRS advantage there, which just gives quite a bit of boost as getting down that pit straight. So he's up that position there right now. Going back up to Infamous here, who's chasing after Royal Harvey for a third place in the race. So let's see what that's going up in front. We got CRG Gamer has gained about 8 tenths off of Beer right now. He's 7.1 seconds behind Beer and running. So definitely catching up. 7 seconds as it is now. So Beer is losing time right now. He needs to find some sort of pace out of that car. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it, but he needs to find some sort of pace. We're on lap 9 still going through. We'll be into lap 10 very soon in this race. So our race leader is just about to enter into lap 10 there right now. 6.8 seconds is the gap between Beer and CRG Gamer. So this is not looking good for Beer at the moment. He's feeling the pressure somehow. Already got a penalty, a 3-second penalty across CRG Gamer with 6 seconds of penalties. That probably can play into his hand. We'll see how it works out going down to the end of the race. Right now following on with Infamous SMG, chasing after Royal Harvey, trying to go side by side with him right now. I'm going to take it on the inside of turn 1 and gets a position up. Back up into P3 goes Royal Harvey down to P4. Spoonoggy chasing behind of that. So we're on board right now with Harvey and see if he's able to get a position back from Infamous and hopes that this Infamous makes some sort of mistake. I think that's his only chance at this point here right now. Going pretty well in this race. Lap 10 of 20 as we have it here right now going through. And still a 2:10 gap between Infamous and Royal Harvey as they're chasing after each other in this race. So really and truly not too bad in this race. Down at the bottom of the grid we got Laurentio chasing after Golden Pickle there right now. 2 tenths is the gap between them. So going on to the pit straight right now. He's probably going to have some DRS advantage and the slipstream to work with. Yes, he is. And he's Golden Pickle trying to keep him out of the slipstream right now. Trying to pull all the way to the right side of the track. All the way to the pit exit there. And still getting the DRS advantage. Does help Laurent to get alongside the car, and he's going to pull around the outside, and looks like he might not get the position, but pull back on the inside on the next turn and gets the position up into 13 goes Laurent here. Golden Pickle tried to defend against that, but down to 14th unfortunately. And what a race we've been having here so far. Let's go back to Infamous here on P4, chasing after Royal Harvey for P3. Has been running a pretty interesting race out front. Bit of a battle between the two of them. Bit of a switch keep happening. Out in front, Beer is now ahead by 8.6 seconds. He is gaining time on CRG Gamer right now. Has gained about 1.6 seconds so far. And that's pretty well coming off of him there. Royal Harvey and Infamous going side by side once again. Infamous gets back up in the third. Royal Harvey trying to fight at the wrong, trying to take away back third position. Doesn't want to lose it right now. We got a lot of penalties on the grid. We're going to have a look at that in just a bit. Actually, bring that online right now and look at penalties as it is. Quite a lot. Only 3 drivers currently without penalties. That's Lando there, Laurentier, and Ace versus King are the only drivers without penalty. Royal Harvey still fighting this back right now, trying to get that position as much as we can. Doesn't want to lose third place in the race right now. He's trying to keep on the rear of Infamous's car. 8.1 second is a gap between Beer and CRG right now. CRG trying to bring that gap back down. It's going to be quite a battle between the two of them if they do ever get close. I'm not sure. That 8-second gap is still a lot to work with for CRG Gamer. About 9.5 laps left in this race as it is there right now. We got Boltex chasing after the Condor in the back, but we're keeping on with Royal Harvey here right now, still fighting it off with Infamous for third place in the race. And Golden Pickle is out of the race. Let's see if we can have a look at what happened with him there. And I think he retired in the pits. Yep, he has retired in the pits, unfortunately. So that's not going to affect our race out here. We're going to continue on with the race as it is right now. CRG Gamer getting the fastest lap at 1:27.033. And that's not good news for Beer out front. He needs to keep that gap 8 seconds and keep increasing the gap rather than have it drop on him there right now if he wants to make sure he wins this race. Because even with an 8-second gap, he still could potentially lose the race here. Or lose the race win at least. He's coming under a bit of pressure, losing a bit of time. He might have made a mistake out front. Lost about 5 tenths in just about a split second there. We still got Royal Harvey right up to the rear of Infamous's car. Still chasing him down for that position. Going to try and take it around the outside. Not close enough to get a gap good around. So he's going to have to hold it back into P4 at least for now. And going down to Boltex down there in P9. A pretty close gap between him and Decuna as they fight it off through for P8. We got Callum and John Banter there, 5 tenths between the two of them, and Ace versus King on Angry Orange on the back, about 4 tenths between the two of them there as well, so really a close gap. Let's have a look down at the back of the grid, see what's happening here with Ace versus King, chasing after Angry Orange there right now, not a bad gap. Royal Harvey still about 3 tenths behind Infamous and trying to fight it to break that gap down as much as he can. And you're getting a pretty good run down that straight. Oh, and almost has contact with him. Pulls alongside very quickly. Wasn't sure which side to go. Probably break a little bit too much there. So Ace versus King still up into 14th right now, though Angry Orange is down into 15th in this race as it is there right now. Out in front, Infamous and Royal Harvey once again switch position because Infamous is into the pits right now. And let's see what tires he does choose to go on to go to the end of the race at this point here right now. And it looks like he's going to go on to the super soft tires there to go to the end of the race to have a bit more pace. Remember, the super soft tires are a bit faster than the soft tires as it is. So let's see how that's going to work. We got J Sarge into the pits there as well, going on to the super softs. And we're waiting for the rest of it to see when they will decide to do a pit stop here or not. Back out in front, the Beer here. He is currently running in P1, still leading this race against CRG Gamer. 6.1 seconds between the two of them. And the gap is starting to drop just a bit. So CRG Gamer is gaining a bit of time right now. Has gained about 2 seconds so far off of Beer in the past 2 or 3 laps as it is there right now. So Beer might start to get a bit worried, but that gap starting to go down 5.9 seconds as it is there right now. He's gaining a tenth or 2 by every few seconds as we get on through. And Royal Harvey 6.5 seconds behind that. He's not too worried about them. He needs to be worried about Spoon Doggy behind of him, 9.5 seconds, but a bit of a gap. So let's see when he does take the pit stop what happens. Down here with Infamous getting past Callum here for P8. First super soft tires and are working pretty well for him as he gets around. Callum might try to come back on the inside, but does not have enough of a gap to work with. And hey Gamer, thank you for joining on the chat. I'm good. How are you doing? And just enjoying another race here before they get off to this and I have to leave to work after this. So just enjoying this before I have to leave. So let's see what's happening here. Quite an interesting race so far from the start up to this point. Lap 14 of 20 for the feature race so far. We get a sprint race coming up just after this. Going to be a few laps less. And we got all our race leaders up into the pits there right now. Let's have a look what's happening here right now. So someone's serving a 5-second penalty or something. I'm not sure. Okay, there we have it. So they're getting back out. And this is going to be a bit interesting right now. Gap is now going to be about 5.1 seconds between Beer and CRG Gamer as they get out of the pits here right now. And a much closer gap for CRG to work with. And Beer is going to start to feel some pressure as he gets much closer with CRG here right now. That battle might come into play a few laps later on into the race here right now. We do have the sprint race coming up after this game or just after this on the same stream. Will be probably about I'm not sure how much lap that will be, but be a little bit less than 20 laps. It's an F2 race, so we do have to do the feature race and the sprint race, both 50%, and let's see what that's going to work out. So we're going to keep an eye on this gap out from between Beer and CRG Gamer. Let's go on down to Rod Harvey chasing after we got some more cars into the pits right now. Most of the cars going onto the super soft tires to go to the end of the race, trying to get a faster run on. And let's go on down to J-Star chasing after Spoonagi right now. A pretty close gap between them, about 6 tenths, not too far off. So he's trying to catch up as much as he can here. Let's see if that's going to work. He's breaking the gap a bit down, gaining a tenth or two as they get on through with the lap here right now. So going pretty well. Gap out front is now 4.3 seconds between Beer and CRG. So CRG is catching up very quickly to Beer there, and he is going to be under some severe pressure by the end of this race, I think, because that gap might be broken down a bit. If it continues that way, that gap will come down to just under 5 tenths of a second by the time we get to lap 18 or 19, and it's going to be pretty close for the race finish between the two of them. And remember, we do have a lot of penalties in this race. We'll bring penalties back online pretty soon. Infamous getting the fastest lap out front there, and J Sarge still chasing after Spoonagi, really trying to get up that position into P7 if he can here right now, both on the super soft tires and running, and he's going to try and use a slipstream, and we got Spoonagi trying to keep him out of that slipstream. He's going to have the DRS advantage, which helps so much down the pitch. It is so much more powerful and gives that much more of an edge. Getting an overtake done, he's going to take it on the inside and gets the position up into P7. Spoonagi down to 8 right now. He's going to have to hold it up there. John and Royal Harvey switching it up here. They're going side by side still a bit as John has to slot in P5, and he's going to have to continue chasing after Royal Harvey for that position if he does want it. Can't see him getting another penalty. We're going to bring penalties back on the screen for you guys in just a bit to have a look what's happening with that. But as we can have it right now, the tires that everyone's currently running on is what they're probably going to be going to the end of the race on right now. Majority of our cars on the super soft tires having a bit more of an advantage. Out in front, CRG Gamer 3.6 seconds behind a Beer right now. That gap is breaking down pretty quickly, and quite interested to see if that is going to be a battle for the race win here. Let's have a look at penalties between the two of them. It's 3 seconds and 9 seconds right now for CRG Gamer. So CRG is pushing pretty hard out front, even with the risk of taking penalties right now to catch up to Beer and get across the line P1 if he can. We'll see how that goes. And Beer just does the fastest lap 126.2, and CRG Gamer now does the fastest lap 126.210. So the two of them definitely in a better competition out front for getting across the line in P1. Looks like Beer will be keeping it either way because I don't think CRG has enough time to get by him and actually get a gap going. But who knows? It's possible at any point. I've never seen CRG drive before. It's the first race I'm actually happening with him. Let's go on to Lando back here chasing after Bultesing it is for that position. Let's have a look at that. We're going to bring penalties back online on lap 19 halfway through that, so you guys can have a look on the final lap on what's happening with that there. Remember guys, if you guys are on the stream, thank you guys for joining us on with the stream here. Please make sure you leave a like on the stream, and remember to subscribe to our channel if you're new on here. We got started very quickly with this session, so forgot to even say all of that at the start. Let's see who we're following on with here right now. Going back up to Rod Harvey chasing after Infamous. These two have been added for a number of laps from the start of this race, getting up to this point right now. And they're still chasing after each other, fighting it off for the same position in P3 in the race. Both of them right now on the super soft tires chasing off each other. 4 tenths now between the two of them. As they get on through that, we're on lap 16 at this point here right now, so doing pretty well, I gotta say. Gap is now down to about 2 tenths, so it's gonna get a bit more tricky in terms of what's happening up front. Out in front with Beer and CRG Gamer, 2.3 seconds between the two of them, so that's more interesting as well. We're gonna see how that is about to work out. And Royal Harvey gets a pretty good run against Infamous. And I think CRG Gamer is really trying to get into the DRS range right now of Beer. He doesn't currently have DRS, but got the gap down from 8 seconds down to 2 seconds between them. And CRG Gamer started quite a number of positions down. I think he might be good for getting driver of the day on this one here, as we got Royal Harvey and John Banter about to fight it out there. Sorry, Royal Harvey and Infamous about to fight it up, as it is around the 14 positions gained in this race there for CRG Gamer. So he's looking pretty good so far. Of course, he does have an amount of penalties to deal with. We're going to see how that's going to work for him, because he might be losing a bit of positions because of that. Of course, a 10-second gap to Infamous behind of him, so that 9-second penalty will still keep him there in P2. Even if he gets past Beer and gets across the line P1, Beer is still going to get the race win for the feature race here, because he's not going to be able to get enough of a gap going against him for that there. So let's see how that's going to work. Right now we got Harvey trying to get past Infamous, trying to look for a gap. Bit difficult for him here right now. And we got our race leaders entering into lap 18 of 20 in this race right now. So we got basically just about under 3 laps left to go, and we're on board right now with Royal Harvey as he chases down Infamous, uses DRS advantage, and is going to use the slipstream a bit, goes alongside him, and looked like he should be able to get that position up quite easily up into P3. He goes there right now. Infamous is going to fight this back with all he has right now to try and get it back, as he's coming down to the wire, down to the end of the race, and he doesn't want to be going across the line. P4 at this point here right now. He's fought it pretty well with Royal Harvey for that position, and it's the same thing for the other way around as well. Royal Harvey has been fighting it pretty hard for Infamous, trying to keep P3 in the race and get across the line in that position. We're going to bring penalties online. Let's have a look at penalties as they are there right now. We know everyone's going to finish on the tires that they're currently on. Pierre gets another penalty, unfortunately. That's a 6-second penalty right now. Gap is down to 7 tenths between the two of them. Let's have a look what's happening between the two of them here right now in plain view sight of CRG Gamer right now. He's definitely under a lot of pressure to keep the lead of the race at this point here right now. On lap 18, he needs to make sure that CRG Gamer does not get by, because if CRG Gamer gets by and gets a 3-second gap, he is going to be able to keep the race win, and that's going to put Beer down to second across the line, and he'll have to keep second place if he does get a 3-second gap between the two of them. So he needs to keep that as much as he can. He's going to have DRS advantage, I think, here. Yes, he's going to have the DRS advantage against Beer here right now. So let's see how that's going to go. He's going to use it. I don't think he's slow enough to get into the slipstream, but he's going to try and use the DRS advantage as much as he can. Still keeping in the slipstream, and he's getting a pretty close run. Beer under a lot of pressure. He's going to push it on the inside. He's going to get the position up here right now. Beer is going to fight it back through with him. They might be having a better contact between the two cars, as Beer is about to lose the race lead here right now. He's going to try and fight it back as much as he can, running right behind the rear of CRG Gamer. Let's see if it's going to be a switch between lap 19 going to lap 20 at this point here right now. He needs to keep it as close as he can. He's going to try to fight it around the outside, and not able to get it back as yet, but quite a close gap between the two of them. This is going to be quite interesting to see if CRG Gamer is able to break out a 3-second gap between the two of them, but I don't think he might be able to. 4 still between them. Royal Harvey and Infamous fighting it down in the back. They're going side by side on the tier still. And that is Royal Harvey back into third, and back goes Infamous once again. A bit of a switch between the two of them as they keep going on through. We're going to keep with them for just a bit and see how that plays out. They're still going side by side for it. We got John Banter coming just behind of them as well. He's about 4 seconds behind, so I think he's trying to just watch on, see what's happening with these two. Hopefully they take each other out and he gets a position up here. So they're still going side by side, turn after turn. They're still side by side and fighting back through. That is Infamous into the third position there right now. Harvey still fighting it back through, just a 10th behind, trying to come around the outside and not able to get it back as yet. Out in front, Beer and CRG Gamer. What's happened between the two of them? Someone's gone off track. I'm not sure if they had contact, but CRG Gamer spun around, unfortunately losing out on the race lead here. And he's back going again with a gap of now 10, now 11 seconds. I'm not sure if him and Beer had any contact at all, but they didn't have a close enough gap for that. So I think CRG Gamer might have made a mistake and lost the rear of the car. He's unfortunately going to lose out on getting across the line P1 and possibly even a race on this point. Into the final lap of this race here right now. Beer leads and goes on through with an 11.6 second gap. CRG Gamer running in second place with a 12-second penalty there right now. That's going to put him down quite a few positions. He might still get driver of the day, but still going to lose quite a few positions. But what a drive from him here for the first race. I've seen him racing. I'm not sure if he raced last week. I didn't stream last week for the league there. I was not unavailable for that one due to some time restrictions. Royal Harvey here still fighting it off, unfortunately, with Infamous, as they're going going to go to the end of the race just like this as it is there right now. We still can see where is Beer right now, and he's not getting across the line as yet. So let's have a look at these two as they're fighting it on through, going as well. We're going to have a look at Beer as he gets across the line. Unfortunate for CRG Gamer, we do have the sprint race coming up, and the two of them will be next to each other fighting that off through. Royal Harvey and Infamous probably will be at it again. We're going to see how it works out for them, but still fighting it on through as they get around here. And we're going to go on with Beer here, getting across the line, led the entire race, and further through. CRG Gamer gets the race win there. CRG Gamer coming around here right now. Final turn. And he's going to get across the line. He's going to cross the line P2, but I'm not sure where he's going to end up. With a 12-second penalty, he might end up in third or maybe fourth, probably in third, as we're waiting for Infamous and Royal Harvey to come across the line. Let's see how that's going to happen with these two. And Royal Harvey takes second place in the race. CRG Gamer takes third. Infamous takes fourth. John Martin takes fifth. Slayer is going to be taking sixth in the race here right now. We got J Sarge coming across the line in seventh. Spoondoggy goes across the line in ninth, switches off for J Sarge. J Sarge goes up into eighth. Spoondoggy down to ninth. Laurentier in seventh. Lando takes he looks like he's going to take 10th here. Ace takes 13. King Schemo takes 14, and we got Deacon taking 11. Callum is going to take 12 when he gets across the line here, and he's going to be the last guy across. Bull texting Angry Orange and Golden Pickle unfortunately were not able to finish the race there. That was a bit unfortunate for them, but what a race for the feature racer, guys. If you miss the start of the race, you're going to have to wait until the stream is over for catch back the start of the race. But that was quite an interesting start as well for this race. You got to have back a look at that. Anyway, guys, so thank you guys for joining on with the stream for us so far. We still have the sprint race coming up just after this, and that driver of the day goes to CRG Gamer. Good drive from him so far, and good drive from Pierre for keeping the lead of the race and finding it back and still winning that race. Not too bad for him, but let's see how the sprint race is going to go. Once again, guys, thank you all of you for joining on the stream. Please, guys, make sure you leave a like on this video and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And that is Beer feeling pretty happy about that race win for the feature race here. So let's have a look at the final results so far. The preliminary results still in terms of incidents and whatnot. So there we have it, guys. Beer takes a win for the Mexican Grand Prix here for L2S F2 feature race. We're going to go to the sprint race in just a bit. Road Harvey takes second place on the podium. CRG Gamer takes third place on the podium, even though he went across the line second, and takes fastest lap in the race. Infamous takes 4. John Banter 5th. Slayer 6th. We got Laurentier 7. J Sarge 8. Spoondoggy 9th. Lando 10th. Deacon 11. Callum 12. Ace vs King 13. King Schemo 14. Bultex King 15. Angry Orange 16. Golden Pickle 17. And of course CRG Gamer does take driver of the day as well. So really not too bad for him. Him and his teammate Infamous finished third and fourth in this race, so not too bad for High Tech there. Dams Red Beer finishes P1, whereas his teammate Callum is down in 12 for that. MP Motorsport second, and where's his teammate John Banter 5th. Not too bad with the points so far for that. So let's have a look at the sprint race coming up right now, and then that's going to be it after that, guys. So let's look forward for another exciting race here. We should have quite an interesting start to that one there as well. Okay, so here we go for the sprint race. We're about to get started here right now. And a 14-lap race, we're getting started. Let's see who's going to chase Sarge and Laurentier out front. Let's see who's get a better run. Looks like 3 cars going wide into turn 1. We got quite a bit of action happening as well. Let's have a look at that right now. See if we can keep an eye on the mid to see if we can catch any possible incidents happening as everyone's all over the track right now going through turn 1, and looks very cloudy on track. Might be a bit of a spot of rain coming down. We're not sure as yet. We'll see how that goes as everyone gets through. We got a car off track there. I'm not sure who that is right at the moment. Oh, 2 cars off track there right now. So I'm really having some trouble. I think Laurentier is one of those cars that got off track. I think Golden Pickle was the other car I got off track down at the back of the grid there. Yep, definitely seems on. It looks like we have some rain coming down already. Track is very, very cloudy right now, and I did spot a few drops of drizzle for a second. I'm not sure if I was seeing that right, but it does look like it definitely might rain, which means we might be switching off to some wet tires in this session. Let's see how that's going to go. So let's have a look at our guys who usually battle it out here right now. So Chase Arts leads the race, Slayer into second, John Banter running third, Infamous fourth, Beer running fifth. We got CRG Gamer running just behind Beer. Quite interestingly, 2/10 gap between them. Royal Harvey running 7, and Lando running 8, Spoondog in 9, Deacon at 10th, Ace versus King 11, Ambulance 12, Callum 13, The Ranger 14, King Simo 15, Conan Pickle 16, Voltex King 17, and down in the back fighting it off just a bit. Deacon falling down a few positions. He's lost the car. He spun around. We see some debris on track here as well. Not sure who that belongs to. Let's go back out in front right now. Following on with John Banter chasing after Slayer here for second place in the race. Let's see how that's going, because it looks like a pretty close gap. And someone has fallen down the order down in the back. I think that was Laurentier. They're having some trouble. It's a virtual safety car for that incident down in the back. And we got penalties handed out already in the race. King Schemo is into the pits. And under the virtual safety car, quite a few more cars into the pits there right now, down in the back of the grid. So quite interesting so far as it is. Let's make sure we got everything up on screen. We got position changes so you guys can see what happened. J-Sart started in the lead of the race, and he is still leading the race there right now. Most of these guys have gained some positions. A few drivers lost position. Laurentier lost 15 positions down at the back there, now in 17th on the grid. Let's get tires up into play, and let's have a look at that and how it's going here right now. So far so good, and that we're just waiting for that virtual safety car to be over here right now and get back into racing. Where is Beer right now? Can I have a look where? Oh, there he is. So where is his good friend CRG Gamer? Is down at the bottom of the grid, 14th. I'm not sure what happened to him. And a car has spun around there. Is that Lando? I'm not sure. I think that was Spoondoggy there. Nope. Yep, I think that was Spoondog. I'm trying to have a look. Yep, it was Spoondog. He lost a bit of his front wing as well. We're back racing again, and let's see how it's going on with Royal Harvey and Beer out in front, fighting it up. Beer up into P3, Harvey down to P4. Lando just about 5 tenths behind that. He's trying to fight for a position there as well. And let's see if Harvey is trying to get back at Beer for this. He's trying to keep up with him as much as he can. 2-3 tenths is a second here right now to still go on through, and Lando's still fighting for that position. He's now 3 tenths behind Harvey and fighting for a position as it is there right now. CRG Gamer fighting it off with Callum for 11th place down in the back of the grid. Of course, a 4-10 gap between them. Infamous and Callum fighting it off, and John Banter falling down a few positions. I think he's into the pits there right now. He's into the pits right now and probably getting a change of front wings as it is. Probably has some damage on that car. Out in front of following Lando here chasing after Rod Harvey, about 2 tenths behind that car. A pretty close gap between them as he goes on through. Beer just in front of that, running in P3 on a podium position. They're fighting it off for that right now as it is there. He's trying to keep the gap. Rod Harvey trying to keep the gap between under a second as much as he can to try and have some DRS advantage coming up pretty soon. Track does look very cloudy. As I said, I did spot a few drops of drizzle, but I think I was seeing things. I'm not sure, but it does look like it might either the sun might come back out, or we might have some spot of drizzle before the end of the race. We'll see how it goes, but very cloudy on the track. That means track temperature is going to be a bit lower than usual, so guys are going to have to be very careful. Down in the back, CRG Gamer up to 10th in the race right now, chasing after Callum there for that position, and gets the position up, and Callum is out of the race. What's happened to his car? Down with the side, I'm not sure if he had contact with CRG. That's going to be investigated at the end of the race to see what happened. That was a pretty close gap between the two of them. It's quite possible they had some contact, and that's going to be another virtual safety car there for that incident. We had absolutely no VSCs for the feature race, but sprint race is getting quite chaotic here right now with incidents. So let's see how this one's going to play out. So Callum unfortunately out of the race. We're going to have to just wait for this virtual safety car to be over to get back racing again. And we can see Royal Harvey keeping right up the rear of Beer's car, and he's going to try to come up alongside him already before the VSC is over. He's going to try and get an early start on a run against him. Let's see how that's going to go for him. We're waiting for that VSC to be over here right now. And Infamous is out of the race. He's retired in the pits, I think. Infamous is retired into the pits. Golden Pickle with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And I think this VSC is over here right now. And Royal Harvey lost about a few tenths there. He was holding back just a bit. Let's go on up with Slayer here right now, chasing after J Sarge for the lead of the race. 5 tenths between the two of them as it is there right now. So 2 drivers lost in this race so far, Infamous, SMG, and Callum there. Unfortunate for them. But we still have 15 drivers left in the race, and we're going to go on through with that. Going down to Lando here, chasing after Ron Harvey in this race. Going very, very well for him so far. 5 tenths between him and Lando here. So let's see what's happening here. Out in front, it's still a close gap. Still a DRS advantage range there for Slayer. Running behind J Sarge in lap 4 right now. I think we're about to get into lap 5 of 14 in this race. Now let's get on board a bit and see how close he's actually able to get. Got some blue flags being waved. I've only a few penalties so far in this race. CRG Gamer getting the fastest lap of 127.552 so far. We got some back markers running here as well. Just coming off of their pit stops, and that's Laurentio disconnected from his car. And go back down to Lando here, chasing after Rod Harvey right now. So slowing down just a bit in the race here right now. Gaps are starting to form between most of our cars, but we do have a close gaps within a second for a few drivers as we have it here right now. We still have Royal Harvey within the DRS range of Beer as they get on through with this race at the moment here. So we're trying to keep an eye and see how well that's going to work. He is using his DRS as much as he can, trying to keep up. We got CRG Gamer though, right up to the rear of Ace versus King. He's going to propel alongside him there right now, going side by side with Ace versus King. Goes up into 7th place in the race, and he's going to take that away quite easily. No contact between the two cars. And he gets that position up. Ace versus King down to 8 in the race here right now. Let's see if he's able to keep the gap as it is. Looks like he's trying to keep up close with CRG Gamer. But you got Harold Harvey into the pits out in front there right now. And he does the fastest lap CRG Gamer there. So 126.647 so far. Trying to follow on with Ace versus King right now. 7th place in the race. He's trying to take it alongside CRG here right now. Let's see if he's going to get that position up or not. He's still trying to fight it on through, but CRG Gamer gets back to position up into 6th and holds Ace versus King down into 7th place in the race there right now. Voltex King here is trying to chase after Rod Harvey, but he's disconnected from his car, so still trying to keep up close as that. Apparently the AI is driving pretty well there. Let's go back over here to Ace versus King right now, and Voltex King car getting a bit in the way here, I think, or someone else's car, Laurentio probably, down in the back. It's going down to the back of the grid with Angry Orange right now. He's chasing after King Skimo here. Have a look at him right now. So a pretty close gap. 8 tenths between the two of them as they're going on through. We're on lap 6 right now of 14. So about to approach the halfway point of this race, and that slipstream works pretty well along with the DRS, and might have Angry Orange try a move here on King Skimo. Unfortunately not enough of a gap, and he's pushing on through right now and still able to get the position up. Goes into P10. That's King Skimo down into 11th on this race here right now. Out in front, we got CRG Gamer trying to make a move on Decona. Down the pit straight they go right now. He's going to pull alongside it using the slipstream and DRS advantage. And he's going to take it on the inside and go on that position there. And that is Decona down to 6. CRG Gamer is now up into P5 in the race. Beer currently a bit of his nemesis, I would say, running there P3. So the two of them might be hashing it out again at the end of the race. Let's see how that's going to go. Of course, Lando in the middle of that. So the CRG does have quite a way to catch up if he wants to get back and fight it out through with Beer out in front. We're going to see how that goes for him. Braking just a little bit much there. Decona trying to keep the gap as close as he can. Down at the bottom of the grid, I see Golden Pickle getting quite close to Angry Orange right now. About 5 tenths is the gap. So let's keep an eye and see how that's working. Out in front, we got J-Start still leading this race. And he's leading by a second right now, trying to keep Slayer, who's in second, out of his DRS range. We got Golden Pickle and Angry Orange going side by side for a position here right now. Let's see how that's working out for them. Oh, and looks like Golden Pickle might have lost the car just a bit of contact with King Schemo coming just behind of that. And he was trying to get by as well. Still has to hold down in P12 for now. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that position up. So Angry Orange holds on to P10. Out in front we got J Sarge and Slayer with a less than a second gap between the two of them. 7/10 right now is that gap. So Slayer is within the DRS range of J Sarge right now and looking to get up that position if he can. Golden Pickle here still trying to get up into P10 against Angry Orange. Let's see if that's working out for him. If it's not going, we're probably going to switch on over to Slayer and J Sarge out front to see what's happening with that. But J Sarge running pretty well. Oh, we got someone's at the corner of the track. I think that was probably Angry Orange there. Had a bit of a, definitely having some more trouble. He's getting into the pits, I think, here right now. Nope, sorry. He's still going on through with a broken front wing and throwing that car into the pit wall there, causing a safety car. Unfortunately, Angry Orange, why did you do that? And he's caused a safety car for that one there. So that is his car getting frustrated, throwing the car into the pit wall, causing a safety car, slowing the entire race down. And that's going to go on for about another 2 laps here, and then we're going to have maybe about 4 laps of racing left to watch here by the time we get over with that so far. So this safety car might trigger a few pit stops. We're going to see how that works out. Okay, so still on this safety car right now, caused by Angry Orange there. Yes, we have to call him out on that. That'll probably be investigated a bit after the race as well, because usually I know leagues do have a rule against that. And yeah, so J Sarge still leading the race. Slayer still running in second place here right now. Beer running third onto a podium position there right now. Lando running fourth. CRG Gamer running fifth with a penalty. And let's have a look at that penalty right now. 5-second penalty. So if he does take a pit stop, he will serve that penalty. Or if he does not take a pit stop, you have to add it to the end of his race time, which, as it seems right now, might cost him a position in the race. Ace versus King running 6, Decoder running 7, Bullet's King running 8, Royal Hobby running 9, Golden Pickle running 10th. Then we got King Schemer running 11, John Banter 12, Spoondoggy running 13, and Laurentier running 14, Angry Orange out of the race, Infamous out of the race, Callum out of the race as it is there right now. Let's have a look at what's happening out front. Is anyone taking a pit stop or not? No, we got J Sarge running just behind the safety car. This is probably gonna have to go on. Maybe hopefully at the end of this lap, we'll probably have this car go, safety car go in. Let's have a look at that as the guys get around the track. So by the time we get to sector 3, we'll be able to know if the safety car is going to be going in at the end of this lap, and then we're going to get back to racing and finish off this race as it is here right now. So a few penalties in the race. We can see Royal Harvey 3 seconds. We can see Golden Pickle 6 seconds. John Banter 3 seconds. Spoondoggy 3 seconds as it is there right now. CRG Gamer looks like he took a pit stop and served that 5-second penalty. So that's going to be over with for him. We're going back onto tires right now. So we're getting around in sector 2 there right now, and we should be getting that safety car going in on this lap. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen. King Simo getting another penalty there, unfortunately. does not look like the safety car is going in on this lap. Looks like we're going to have to go another lap with the safety car there. So we're going to be going back racing on lap 12 apparently. So that's going to give us about 3 laps of racing, I assume. Getting a bit more cloudy on track as well. Not sure if we're going to see a few drizzles before the race closes off. Of course, everyone will probably still finish the race on the tires that are currently on. J Sarge already ready to go back racing here. Looking to race the safety car as it is there right now. Keeping a very, very close gap. Of course, doesn't want to hit that safety car. That's going to cost him quite a bit in terms of penalty-wise. So we're going to have to do just one more lap here, guys, under the safety car before we finish off this race. King Schemo into the pits there right now, probably serving a penalty as well. I think I'm not sure if he had a drive-through penalty as well, but he's serving a penalty. Probably went to change off. Actually, he didn't change off, so he's probably serving a drive-through penalty there right now because he didn't change tires. I can see most of our cars have gotten back close together again, so a bit bunched up in the grid, and we're about to get back started here. So we're going to have about 3 laps of racing to go, lap 12, 13 and 14 of racing, as we're going to end off lap 11 going into lap 12 back to racing after the safety car goes in on this lap, which hopefully it should. I think it should be going on this lap here right now. By the time we get to the sector 3 mark on track, it should give us that notification on down the bottom from race control. We're just waiting for that. Just about 3 to 4 seconds more to go, and we should get a notification there just about now. There we go. Safety car is going to be in on this lap, so we're about to get back racing here and finish off this race in just about another 3 laps or so. It's going to end off pretty quickly, so let's have a look on how that is about to go. Has been quite an interesting session with L2S F2 Esports League this evening so far. We have 2 more races to finish off the current season. This is round 13 of 15. We got 2 more races to go, and then that's 2 more weeks of racing with them. Then I think they might be on a bit of a break before starting the next season. We're going to find out the plans for that, so hopefully be a part of that as well. So we got a close gap between most of our cars as we're about to get back racing here right now. Track is green, and there we go. We're back racing. A close gap between Slayer and J Sarge for P1 in the race as they go down the pit straight there right now. Gap is decreasing, but down to 3/10. I'm probably going to go down to 2/10 before they get to that turn. And let's see how close they're actually going to get. I don't think Slayer has enough of a close gap to get by as yet, but he's still going to fight it on through. Down in the back, we're having a look and see what's happening right now. Beer and Lando, pretty close gap between the 2 of them. Down in the back, Ace versus King switching up. Oh, we got 3 cars going wide through here right now. I'm not even sure who the 3 are, but fighting it off for a position. Oh, someone's off track, and that's probably Ace versus King. He is off track right now. Got caught up in a bit of a battle there. Bultex King and Ace versus King now. He's going to get back on track. So Bultex King and Golden Pickle fighting it off at the moment here for P8 in the race as we have it so far. So out front, we still got a 4:10 gap between J Sarge and Slayer for the lead of the race as these 2 decide to still go side by side here right now. Golden Pickle falling off behind them. So we're following on right now with CRG Gamer here, chasing after Dekuna now. Let's see how that battle is going on through a 4:10 gap between the 2 of them, and he's looking to get by 3/10 right now. So he's definitely looking to get by Dekuna there for P5, going alongside him on the outside, not keeping it too close. Gets a purple sector as well, and gets the position up into P5. Beer currently running 8/10 behind Slayer out front. A pretty close gap between them out front, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that as well. This gap might start to go away from Dekuna, so let's go on out front, have a look between J Sarge, Slayer and Beer for the lead of the race. Between the 3 of them is not too far off, and I'm not sure if DS is back online. I think he'll probably be back on in the final lap. But CRG Gamer gets the fastest lap so far as Slayer has 2/10 between him and J Sarge out in front for the lead of the race. Beer trying to get up on this, but he's a bit too far behind. 9/10 behind, and you would think that would be enough, but not at this point in the race here. So he's still fighting it out for that position. So it's going to be interesting between the 3 of them going to the end of the race. Let's put penalties on as we're on lap 13 right now going through. You guys can have a look on how that penalties is going to work out. Ace versus King and Bultex King switching it down for 9th and 10 down in the back there. We're going to try and keep an eye on these 3 as we have it here right now. Lando about 3 seconds behind. We can see him coming there, so he's not too worried about getting caught up in this as yet. He has a bit of a way to catch up if he needs to, but just about a lap and a half left to go here in this Mexican sprint race that we do have going on right now. Beer getting 2 tenths behind Slayer right now. Some DRS advantage is definitely going to help him get by up into second place, and that's Slayer going to be losing it. He's been keeping second place in this race for a while now. I definitely doubt he doesn't want to actually lose that. So he's going to have to fight it off with Beer to keep it, because he's losing some time to Slayer out front. 8 tenths now is that gap. And let's see what's going to happen down the DRS straight coming up here right now as we go into the final lap of this Mexican Grand Prix for the sprint race here with L2S F2. And a 3:10 gap between Slayer and Beer as he's pushing as much as he can. Lando, they're trying to get by CRG Gamer. CRG Gamer trying to keep him all the way to the center of the track. He's going to force him around the outside, a long way around. And looks like Lando might be able to get this if he squeezes by. But CRG Gamer is going to fight him back and come back on the inside as he probably used everything he had there. Trying to get a bit of contact, I think, between the two of them as they're fighting it out through to get that position there. And CRG Gamer still gets it back into fourth place. No penalty on either of them, so not too bad so far. Beer switches it off with Slayer out front here, gets up into second place in the race, and is on the final lap going around. Slayer is not going to be too happy about this right now, losing that position to Beer on the final lap of a race. Down in the back, Lando still fighting it off with CRG Gamer. He's still trying to get by him. 3 tenths is the gap between the two. They're now increasing just a bit. 4 tenths between Slayer and Beer here right now. 8 tenths between Sarge and Beer as they fight it off through for the lead of the race and the race win itself for the sprint race. Beer did win the feature race earlier on in the session. Let's see if he's going to be able to get past in the next 2 or 3 turns that we have left in this race here right now. Doesn't look like he might actually be able to get that as we're following on with Jay Sarge right now, who has led this entire race and is about to get around the final 2 turns on this track to come around and actually just win the Mexican Grand Prix sprint race here right now for L2S Esports, and he does do it. He wins that race. Beard finishes second on the podium with him. Slayer finishes third on the podium. CRG Gamer comes across the line for P4. Lando takes P5. Deacon takes 6. Roll Harvey takes 7. We got Golden Pickle across the line P8 and have a switch actually here right now as Esports again comes around, switches that position with him. So let's have a look at how the rest of it will finish off as we hear the results coming on pretty soon here. And quite an interesting finish to the sprint race there as well. Golden Pickle takes driver of the day on this one here. Not too bad a finish for him. Okay, so let's have a look at our preliminary results for the sprint race as it is there right now. Feature race did have some very, very good results as well. So JSR takes the win on that one. Alright, so let's have a look at the sprint race results here right now. So Jay Sarge takes the win for the sprint race for the Mexican Grand Prix. Beer has to take second place instead of taking the win as he did in the feature race, but still not a bad finish position for him. Slayer takes third place on the podium here and not too bad a position. CRG Gamer once again gets the fastest lap and he finishes fourth on the grid on this one here. Lando takes fifth position. Deacon takes 6. Royal Harvey takes 7. Ace vs King takes 8. Golden Pickle takes 9th and driver of the day. Boltex King takes 10. John Banter takes 11. Spoondog takes 12, King's Chemo 13, Laurentier 14, Angry Orange 15, Infamous 16, Callum 17 on the grid there, and that's how it lines up so far, guys. So thank you guys once again for joining us on for this session here with L2S F2 Esports League for round 13 of 15 for the Mexican Grand Prix. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure you guys leave a like on this video here and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have more races coming up during the course of the week. We do have another race coming up tomorrow, 7:30 GMT time, so do look forward to that as well. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Thank you guys for joining us.